Hi, everyone. Good morning. Welcome back to Adobe Live. My name's Ryan Selvey, and we are privileged enough to be joined by Corey Paige today. Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing? How are you?
Good. Sorry,
You
it's
good? Oh, yeah, you
repeating in my
probably
head.
have it set up to be not unmuted on the stream if you have the stream open. So go ahead and give
Okay.
the stream
I
a nice mute. Luckily, I don't think anyone else can hear an echo, but we
okay.
are very
Let me fix
excited.
that first because I don't know how to get rid of the stream. How do I do that?
Certainly. So if you go over to, if you have it open up on YouTube or you have it open up on Behance or anything.
I don't unless I do on my phone for some reason.
Oh,
But
interesting.
I took out one headphone and it totally cleared the echo. So
And clear the
maybe
echo.
we'll work with
Okay.
that.
All right. So
Okay,
I will
cool.
just only be in your right ear like a producer. But
Yeah, let's do
um,
that.
all right. So welcome to the show. It's good to have you
Thank
on.
you.
We're excited to celebrate your 10-year anniversary of your
Ooh,
company. So
I
what
know
is
it's
your company?
crazy. So I run a company, Corey Paige Designs, and I started my own business out of my dorm room in college about 10 years ago. And I do a lot of things. I like to tell everyone I'm an artist. I paint murals, I do paintings, I do digital art, I do wallpaper, art licensing. So a ton of different things, but my whole mission is to spread positivity through my art. I make a lot of happy art with bright, fun, colorful imagery. So you'll see that as I go along and make a project today. So today, I've been doing a lot of recap posts on Instagram. I've seen a lot of people using the Carousel Instagram feature, and I've been using Adobe Express to help me with that. So today I wanted to prep my 10-year anniversary of my business is coming up in October. So I wanted to prep an Instagram post ahead of time and go through a bunch of my past accomplishments over the past 10 years or so.
And it's so healthy, honestly. I mean, it's an accomplishment enough to have your own business, but then also to have kind of different milestones. Just is that extra, I don't know, good thing to remember on the times when clients have bad
Hmm.
experiences or you get stressed out about money or anything. It's always good to
Oh
remember how
yeah.
far you've come.
I'll
Um,
show you guys an old one. So this was a recap that I did for May. I did all in Adobe Express. So like the first page is a recap of everything, and then I kind of went through and just to give you guys a little bit of a teaser of what we're going to be working with today. So this was in May. I kind of did a recap of a bunch of projects that I worked on that month, including in the Adobe Summit. So
ooh.
yeah,
And we've had
fun
the privilege to
stuff.
actually meet at a few times at a few different
Yeah.
Adobe events now. Between the Max Summit, I remember, and then also you
Mhm.
were recently uh, selected to give a talk at the Adobe offices, which was
I
really
know,
cool.
that was so cool. That was on my birthday. That was fun.
Oh, yes, it was on your birthday. I remember that. And it was nice of
Yeah.
you to make it
Oh, of
even on
course, it
your
was
birthday.
fun. Might
But
as
all right,
well.
so we
No, it
have
was fun.
everything loading into Adobe Express. You
Yeah.
have a lot of assets and graphics already built in
Mm-hmm.
there. You use it a lot for your posting, so you already have a
Right.
library. But what
Yep.
are all these 10-year anniversary pictures from?
So I prepped all this stuff beforehand. It's funny because I actually did a little bit of different stuff before COVID. I'm gonna try and focus today on post-COVID when I started painting and started doing murals and brand partnerships. So is it cool if I start? Or you want
Yeah,
me to
absolutely.
walk you
As
through
you
some of the
jump into
pictures first?
stuff,
Okay.
I am going to just do a quick hello to Emily and Jacob, who are alongside
Sweet.
Sean over on Behance. And then we have also Sean. Thank you for also being over on YouTube with Vihanga. Good to have you here. And it's nice to see you guys popping in the chat. If you guys have any questions while we are jumping into things, just throw them in the chat and I will be sure to relay them over to Corey. Um, all questions are good questions, as long as they're nice.
Yes, totally. So right now, okay, so I'm kind of just playing around as I go. This is how I do it, but this is funny. This is a picture from during COVID. I was stuck at home in my parents' basement and I bought all these canvases and these paint markers and I just started painting. So this is kind of where it all started in my parents' basement. And then
Isn't
after
that
this, you'll
classic
see
though?
I got my first mural and yeah, it's so classic. Yep.
I also see you have a little Corey
So
Page design sign already up there in the corner in the
oh
picture.
yeah. I know, it's funny. That was like my little office during COVID.
That's awesome. Welcome
Okay,
into
let's
Peter
see.
and Bree, who are also joining us. Thank you guys for being here.
Awesome.
We are hopping into a 10-year anniversary celebration carousel, looking back on
Yes.
Corey's business over the last 10 years.
So the reason I didn't start with the cover photo is because sometimes I like to wait till the end or maybe like halfway through and collage the cover photo with, everything that I've been working on through
Right.
the carousel. But so right now I'm kind of just going to start. I kind of just need to like dive into things.
Yeah.
Like
No, I agree.
sometimes I don't love to totally plan it ahead of time. So I'm just going to write for
Also, the
now.
process reveals its own, you know, ambition while you're working on something. Sometimes you go in with a
Yeah,
plan and then things end up differently anyway. So it's better to
that's
just
me.
go in
Yeah,
spontaneously.
I
Do you
just
kind of
really like
approach your
painting.
murals the same way?
Yeah. Some of
Okay.
them. Some of them I can totally wing it on the spot. Some of them I need to prep before.
Right. Because you're mostly working um, digitally, and then are you using like a projector to then project them onto walls when you're then relaying them, or is it?
Yes. So when I do, well, yes and no. When I do like my typical hearts and happy faces, like you'll see here, I don't do any prep beforehand. I sort of just show up. I don't need a projector or anything. But if it's a different type of mural with like more shapes and something that needs to be planned before, I have used a projector in the past, but recently I tried the MetaQuest headset where you're able to upload your design into the
Yeah.
headset and then I can project it onto the wall. So that's been really cool.
And then you're sitting there looking like RoboCop while you're painting
Oh
onto the
yeah.
wall.
No, totally. And I've had that happen because I did a live painting project
Hmm.
and people were looking at me like, what is on her head? What is she doing?
Do
So
people tend to walk
it's
up to
cool.
you and like try to talk to you while you're painting?
Yeah,
Is it
but I don't mind
distracting,
it.
or is it kind of like a nice break?
It's a nice break. I guess it depends on how often it happens, but
Right.
like I like that's what I really like about in-person events is that I get to be with people and get to be around people because I work for myself and when you work remote and you're behind your computer constantly, it's a little bit lonely. So when I'm able
Yeah.
to do in-person events, I love it.
It's funny when my husband comes home, I'm always like blah 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 blah, and he's like, "Oh," because he goes into an office and he's like, "You
No,
haven't
it's
talked to
so
anyone
true.
today," and I'm like, "I
No,
am not."
I go through the same thing where I'm like, I need to be social. Like I've been sitting by myself all day. I need to be social.
Bree is
So
in the
let's
chat saying
see.
some lovely things, saying, "I am such a big fan, Corey.
Ooh.
You actually inspire me to start painting again. I fell in love with the
So
heart wall."
nice. That's so nice. Thank you. I mean, I love to hear that because my whole like mission is to inspire people and I really love when people will come up to me and they're like, your art made me feel good. I feel happy when I see it. So, I'm really glad to hear that.
Yeah, it's definitely resonates with also the imagery that you use. It's not like you're, drawing a bunch of angry faces.
No,
But
exactly.
you could do like a grumpy coffee. I feel like your style could also kind of uh somehow do that.
Yeah, I know. I just always tend to stick to the happy stuff.
And
What else
love.
should I throw around here? Let me see. I sometimes I like to start and then go back. So I'll just do like I love using everything that's built into Adobe Express because they ha already have some fun stuff that really resonates with my art.
Right?
So even if I wanted to throw in like a drippy graffiti heart, this kind of looks like I made it anyway. So
Yeah. And then you just
how
grab
I
that just
feel when
from.
I was just gonna say when I do projects, sometimes at the beginning I hate them. And then I have to like wait until the end. It happens with murals too. At the beginning, I'm like, oh, I hate this.
Trust
So
the
like right now, like
process.
I'm not liking this, but we just got to keep going. So,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to tell you guys as we go along, more about my journey. So the first picture, like I said, was me painting in my parents' basement during COVID. I have all my paintings, but I would bring everything outside and I'd take pictures on my phone and post them on Instagram. So it's a fun time. It's crazy to look back so many years later.
Oh my gosh, to say so
And
many years later, that was so crazy considering it was 5 years, but
yeah,
still, I'm like,
it's still, I
still
know,
feels like it was
it's so
yesterday.
crazy. So after that, and I was posting all of these art paintings on Instagram, there was a store in my town that asked if I would come paint a mural on their wall. And I'd never done that before. So it was my first time. And actually, my parents let me practice on a wall in their house to start.
Yeah, oh
Once I was
yeah?
confident, and yeah, they
Is it
had it
still there?
yeah, it's still there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice. Uh,
Um, so I did some practice, and it was funny. Before I started spray painting all these murals that you'll see here, I was using paint markers. So like I just can't imagine that I would paint a hole all with these tiny paint markers and they drip and you'd have to wait for them to dry. Spray painting is so much faster for me now,
so
but
you feel
it
like
took me,
your process has changed a lot over the years?
yeah, it has.
It's like more refined,
And
or just you kind of like the tools more that you're using there?
I
Um,
like the tools more that I'm using, and I was doing different things. I mean, even I kind of am starting this recap post COVID, but
yeah,
before that, I was, designing my own clothing and accessories. So things have changed a lot,
yeah.
and
Is
now I
that
do a
anything
lot
that you would
more.
ever kind of explore again? Would be like accessories, clothes?
Only if it was through licensing deals, which you'll see as we go along. I'm going to throw that in
Oh, I'm
to
excited to talk
this
about licensing.
yeah, carousel. But to manufacture my own clothing right now, to deal with tariffs and all that, I'd
Hmm.
rather just um, license my designs to a company.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of logistics and paperwork, which as artists we don't love to do, or at least I don't love to do. I'm like, let me
No, I
just
just
draw
rather
this stuff.
focus on the design. Totally. I
Yeah.
feel very lucky that I can still do all this stuff, and it's great. It's
Do you have a
great.
rough estimate about how many like murals or walls you've done over the course of the 10 years?
I wish I could answer that question. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe like 20 a year, and I've done it for a few. I
What?
mean, that could be wrong. I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say 20 a year, but I don't know.
20 years, like, like
And
1.5 a month or something.
yeah, yeah, something like that. And so this one was so fun. It was my first one ever. And after I did this, I got a couple more projects after that. A dance studio saw it, and then another company saw it. So it is
Kind of
just,
fed itself, It's like the
yep.
thing that then leads to more work. Corey, also, Peter is saying, Corey is so cool. I appreciate her attitude. Congratulations on 10 years of work. And Emily is
Thank you.
also loving the positivity here. So
Thank you. Yeah,
got some fans
love
in chat.
positive art.
Would love to
Amazing. Thank
hear
you
if
guys.
anyone in chat has ever painted a mural or painted on a large scale, and if it worked out for them, or if they were like, never doing that again. Because I have
Yeah,
never done one, and I'd be a little too intimidated too, I feel like.
yeah. I think it's like a lot about confidence too. I don't know, people are like, how do you do that perfect circle? Or how do you get there and you like know what you're doing? I don't know. It's a lot of practice, it's a lot of trial and error. But yeah, I would be curious if anyone else has kind of just playing around here done a mural before and what experience they've had.
Yeah, just because I am somebody who like will love if I'm at a coffee shop and someone is painting one, like I will stay at the coffee shop longer
Too.
just to kind of watch the
Oh, me
process
too.
unfold. Um,
Oh my God, I've done that many times. My fiance knows too. It's like we're going to stop and watch.
Well, and but then the other thing is that I really can't do is, have you ever done a cherry picker or scaffolding?
What's a cherry picker?
Maybe that's not what it's
Wait,
actually called. Like a bobcat, like it's like a metal thing on an arm, and it brings you up so that you can go higher.
right. No, I've been on scaffolding before, but I've never like a lift maybe.
Yeah, like a lift. Yeah.
Is that what you're? No, I've never done that before, but it's funny. I have a meeting tomorrow to go to a shopping center to meet with the development company, and they want to show me like about doing potentially big murals, and I may have to get on a lift or pretend that I've been on a lift before, but
Are
sometimes I
you afraid of
feel
heights?
like fake it till you make it. Yeah, I kind of am.
See, that's what I
I
would be worried about. Is like I would be very uneasy.
yeah, I kind of am. So I don't know
But
how
once you get
that
in
would
the
go,
zone,
but
I'm not trying to freak you out. You're gonna do great.
yeah, we'll
Also,
see
make
how
sure they
that
don't
goes.
watch you say that you just have to pretend that you've done it before. I'll back you up. Put me down
Yes,
as a reference.
well, I feel strongly about fake it till you make it because I do
Yes.
feel like there's like imagine this is a great project opportunity and I tell them, I've never done this before and okay, I understand being honest, but you can also kind of, fake it till you make it and then you
Yeah.
learn along the way. So
Right.
same with this. If I had told them, I've never done a mural before, I'm not comfortable with it, I may not have gotten that project.
Right.
So, but my parents let me practice in their house, and
And then
now I'm
you had done a
here.
mural. You
Yeah,
did your parents' mural.
exactly. So what do we have next? So after the first mural project, I got a bunch more murals. I started doing residential murals where I painted in people's homes. But what I really wanted to highlight here was my first mural at JFK Airport, which was the coolest thing ever.
That's so remarkable.
So
Look
I
at
think
that. It's
this was
huge.
2022, a
So
big
that
mural.
definitely required scaffolding because there's no way that you've reached up to write
Well,
love
you'll
at the
see.
top there.
Well, I actually did not paint this. I designed
Oh,
this digitally. So totally
really?
using Adobe Illustrator, I put all the elements together and I
Okay.
sent them the files. And you'll see here, I prepped a time lapse for us to look at, and I'll see how I'll fit this in. But
Interesting.
you can watch here. They basically put everything up like wallpaper. So you'll
Very
see
cool.
here that everything kind of was a quick video, but
And you also weren't responsible for lining it up
no,
because that would be so stressful.
nope.
And
So I didn't do any of that. So I
wow.
just did the design work, which was awesome.
Wow. That's so
I just
cool.
did the design work. And so how this happened, and I know people always ask me like how I got these projects. I think I was in my studio and I got an email like JFK Airport Terminal 5 mural question mark question mark. It was like so casual. Like, hey
Yeah.
Corey, you're interested in like we have a wall. Would you want to do a mural? I freaked out. And after I spoke to the woman, she said she was scrolling on TikTok or Instagram one night and saw my work and was like, I think this would be cool for the airport. We have a blank wall here. This was a vacant retail space. So,
Mm,
and I've done, and you'll see today, I'll show you another one that I did that was a similar project when these stores have vacant retail spaces, instead of leaving the wall blank or writing like, oh, call this number for real estate, they hired me to design a wall. So
that's really cool.
after this, I was able to put in my portfolio that I worked with JetBlue
JFK
Airport,
and JetBlue.
or yes, that's what I meant to say.
JetBlue Airport,
Um,
my favorite airport.
I wish. Exactly. So,
Peter is in the chat
yeah,
saying you have to try working on a lift. It's a great experience. You have to move far away to look at the picture, which is true. I mean, yeah, I guess you really
yeah.
have no choice but to be up close. So then you kind of have to take intervals to walk away. One thing you did while we were talking a little bit about the process and your experience was you rounded out this video's corners. How did you do that?
Yes. So I wanted to give it some shape. So you'll see here when you click on the video, it says corners. And instead of keeping things totally, square or rectangle, I cornered it out. I can even make it into a circle if I want. So I just wanted to give it some little pizzazz there.
Just some whimsy, little pizzazz, little jazz
And
hands.
I think that nowadays with carousel posts on Instagram, when you have a video in your swipe, I think it makes people want to stay longer and watch. And I
For
think it's
sure.
more interesting and engaging. So I've been trying to incorporate that into um my feed.
Yeah, it's nice because then
So
also it's like I like how it's not the only thing on the slide as well. It's a little added segment of it while you can still then kind of gaze your eyes around the different elements of the mural in the picture. Um,
oopsies.
like in a way
Yeah,
that, people will have like like Temple Run on next to a video of people making
totally.
slime. Because that's just where our brains
And
are at.
I know. And what's great here is you see on the side, everything's in layers. So if I wanted to move this airplane wing under so it's not over it, I can easily do that.
Great. Andrea has just joined the chat and says hello. Welcome, Andrea. We were just talking to Corey. We're
Hello.
talking about her process over the last 10 years of having a company where she is painting murals and licensing artwork and going through her process and just exploring
Mhm.
her journey here. Right now, we're looking at a mural that she got to make for JFK that she created in Illustrator, which was really cool.
Yep, really cool.
So,
I mean, I definitely think having a background in Adobe product like programs has helped my business so much, has helped me so much. Um, you know, when these companies reach out and they want, I wouldn't have been able to do this if I didn't have that background in Illustrator. So it's, I feel very lucky that I have that background. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm kind of just playing around. I like things busy. I like splatter paint. So just playing around. So here,
Cool.
yes, first mural. And then I'm just gonna move on and then I'll probably go back and add things to this. That's just how I like to work. But I'm gonna show off two more murals.
All right. So how far along have we gotten in the journey? How many years have passed now? Like, is this the same year as
That's a good
JFK?
question. So this was 2020. This was also 2020. This, I think, was 2022 or one.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think like during COVID, when I was really starting out painting and sharing all the behind the scenes on Instagram and TikTok, and everyone was stuck at home on their phones, it really helped me grow my following.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I've been able to get these projects. Kind of has been a mix of people reaching out to me, so inbound projects, and also others that I have pitched on my own, which I will get to.
Great.
Um, so we'll quickly
Okay.
show you two more murals.
Miss
Or
Melanie has
three.
returned. I remember you from yesterday, Melanie. Thanks for coming back to the stream. Good to see you. She says, good morning from Los
Sweet.
Angeles. Cool artwork. Jacob also says that no, it was not luck. You honed your craft, which I think is, yeah, you make sure you give yourself credit as well. Luck
Thank
is
you.
definitely always a portion of everything in life, but also hard work is a big
Thank you.
thing. And obviously, you're a very hard worker. Oh, and you have a
Yes.
happy holidays one. Okay, I want to know more about this because I
Yes.
love
So I will
love
tell you
festivity
guys
stuff.
more. Yep.
um,
So right after that other one, the first one, they
mhm,
reached out and they said, okay, we have another wall and we want to do something holiday themed, inclusive of all the holidays.
right.
So they hired me again and I created a design using Adobe Illustrator, made the file large, sent it over to them. They blew it up and same thing, they installed it. So this was fun because, you're traveling for the holidays with your family, you stop and take a picture in front of the wall.
Of
And
course.
that is something that I loved about working on these
Did you ever
projects.
see any of your murals on anyone else's grid?
Yes, I think I did. I've also seen
That's really
people
cool.
like tag me on TikTok,
That's cool.
and I also had like a ton of family and friends, and then also just people I didn't know.
I mean, that's the
I would
coolest,
get
honestly.
tagged. Yeah, it
Right.
was so cool. I loved it.
And
That's
then
why I miss it and
obviously
wish it
you
was
got
more.
paid, but did they
Yeah,
include any travel credit for you?
that's a good question. They did end up, I think, giving me mosaic status until the end of the year,
Oh, cool.
which was a couple of months. So I felt pretty cool about that. I
You gotta
wish
wait
there
till
was
the end of the
more
year. If it's
though.
happy holidays, it's like 2 months. Like, come on, JetBlue. That's
I
Brian
think it
Selvey
was
saying
like
that, not Adobe.
truly, I think it was like September to the end of the year, I think. I don't think it was
Okay.
any more than that. Maybe it was 6 months, but I was like, come on, give me more.
All right. You're like, so
I
then I went to
know.
Tokyo and India and Hong Kong.
I wish. No, I wish. So I'll zoom in so you can see this mural was for Kindness Week. So they reached
Love it.
back out and they wanted one all about kindness. So what I love about my projects is I kind of have little Easter eggs in all different places. So if you
Hmm.
zoom in, you'll see some fun things. It's kind of like an I Spy.
Yeah.
Um, and then this one was the last one I did with them. They wanted to promote their new loyalty program. So
Nice.
I created a mural all about that.
And that one has a little bit more JetBlue branding on it. I mean, obviously
Yep.
it has the card and stuff, but it's cool to be able to see the evolution of ones that are more branded and ones that are more like vibes.
Right.
Mm.
Exactly. So I think that when people kind of ask me about turning points in my business, I always bring this up because, people walked by this and I would get emails. I saw your mural at JFK Airport. We would love to work with you. And I actually got a handful of projects from this. So I love all the marketing behind that. You never know
Work
where
leads
people
to
are going
more
to see your
work.
work. Yep.
It's also nice, yeah, that it looks
Actually,
like on the bottom left and the bottom right on that last one that you kind of have what a
yeah.
QR code to what is was your website,
I think, yeah, that's what I did. I had it on my
smart,
onto my website.
and that way people
Maybe
can
it was
check
my
it out.
Instagram.
I
Yeah.
mean, and one of the biggest pieces of advice I always tell people is just like you can definitely find ways to protect yourself online because that's important, but also you want to make sure you're still contactable because there's a lot
Yeah.
of times where I'm recruiting for either an agency or for Adobe or something, and I can find your profile, but if I can't find a way to get in contact with you, like there is no way for me to get
Right.
you money.
Yeah, exactly. And I think for me, I wanted it to go, I think it was straight to my Instagram because for me, that was my priority.
Yeah,
But even if it's your website or your contact form, I make sure my Instagram, you're able to easily contact me.
exactly. Because artists, we're not always business people, but there always has to be a little touch of business in all of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know it's hard to balance like the design work, and then also being a business person, all of us have to do it. And then we also have to be our own social media managers too. So,
Yeah.
you know, we're
But I
always
mean,
busy.
we're working on essentially social media marketing right now,
Yeah.
through kind of this thing. What has been your favorite platform? Do you like Instagram more? Do you like TikTok more?
I like Instagram more now. I think if you asked me a couple of years ago, I liked TikTok more, but I feel
Hmm.
like it's gotten very saturated. And I also feel like it's so much they're trying to get you to buy things and shop. And it's like you scroll and just everyone's promoting a product versus
Yeah.
like when I feel like I would go on during COVID, there was so much creativity and I would learn so much. I still feel like I do use it a bit as a search engine and I like to go on there to find things to learn about. But it's hard because you kind of need to weave out all the annoying things. It's like I don't want to shop right now. Like I just want to, so
Have you ever gotten anything from the shop?
oh
I've
yeah.
never gotten anything from the shop. You have? I've definitely
Yeah.
gotten stuff from Instagram shop, but I've never gotten anything from TikTok
Oh
shop.
yeah. And it's hard because it's like it's attached to my Venmo. So if I just literally click shop, it's not like you have to check out and do the whole thing. They make it
Yeah,
so easy for you to buy
make it
something that I'm like,
easy. That's
oh
how they
shop.
get
And
you.
I'm like, oh shoot, now it's in my mailbox.
Peter brings up a good point about pricing. It says, "Can you say something about the pricing of your works and how these discussions used to go and how they go now? Please don't feel
Yeah,
pressured
that's
to say actual numbers, but just kind
okay.
of that negotiation and talk. If you
Sure.
want to say actual numbers,
Yeah.
you're more than welcome to, obviously.
Okay.
Um, but whatever
Yeah,
you're
no
comfortable with.
problem. No, I think that's a good question, especially because that's something that I really struggled with at the beginning. And I would always get anxious and worked up about what to charge and what to price my work at. And I've gotten more comfortable now that it's been 10 years later. But there was a period where I didn't know who to go to, um, or who to ask. So I think a good thing to do is to ask the company that you're working with what their budget is. So that's what I did for these projects. I asked them what their budget was, and I kind of just worked with that because for this, and you kind of have to weigh different projects, but for this one, I was like, I'm doing it no matter what, realistically. Like, I want to get paid, but I want to be in the airport. So I was like, whatever I can get. But then there was another one, I think it was like one of the next ones where they really only asked me like a week before. So I charged a rush fee. And I think that's something that I've learned from other people that you can charge a rush fee. If people have the budget. You also have to think about who you're working with here. Like this is JetBlue, this is JFK Airport. They have the budget to pay you another 25% more. So I was like, if I'm going to work my tush off and get this done and put all other projects on hold, I'm going to charge a rush fee. So I was able to charge more. And then that was kind of my next price. So as it went up, I was able to charge a little bit more. But I think always asking the client what their budget is good advice.
Yeah, I think it's a
And
perfect answer. Yeah, because you don't want to make sure you also value your own time and your own commitments. And like you said, when you're working on something else in a rush, you have to put all your other products on hold for that moment.
right. Exactly. So this was actually a project. So this is similar to JFK Airport. This was Brookfield Place in the city, in Manhattan.
Cool.
And oh, yeah, it's fun.
This one's a lot.
So
That one's a lot. That's like essentially three murals from the other one.
let's speed it up. Is it speeding up? Um, yeah, so this I designed all in Illustrator again. And yes, definitely bigger and a little more complicated to work with because I had to make sure like I used the grid of the windows.
Right. And they gave
So
you
it
those
was a little
specs,
more
obviously.
complicated. And they gave me the specs, and I'm pretty good at working in templates in Adobe Illustrator. So when I work with these people, like the printing company that I worked with gave me all the specs. And you can see another close up here of the project. I'll zoom in so you can see. So this one was, all things about Brookfield Place in Manhattan. And I loved this one. because I got to do all these cool icons individually. Um, and again, I didn't have to be the one to install it. I just was doing the
That's a
artwork.
perk in its
So
own.
for sure.
And I do have a question about your Illustrator process, real quick. Also, hello to
Yeah.
V2, who's joining us over on YouTube. Uh, you obviously have a very illustrative style, or illustrative.
hmm
Do you tend to work just with a mouse? Do you work with a tablet? How do you get stuff
I
into
literally,
Illustrator?
I can't remember last time I used a mouse. I use the Apple Pencil and my iPad
Got
for
it.
everything,
Yep.
but I did previously just work with paper and Sharpies, and I would take a picture of everything I did, bring it into Photoshop, image trace it in Illustrator, but now I use the iPad.
Great. Cool. I mean, yeah, that in itself is exciting to see your process evolve also in the digital landscape as opposed to as it also evolves physically on the wall too.
Right. Yeah,
Now, I
it's
know
been
you said
great.
that some of the JFK murals are down because the places have since been filled. Has this
hmm
Brookfield place been filled?
Just recently. So this was up
Oh,
for
I'm
a
so
few
sorry.
years, but just recently, they filled this space. This was a retail space that
And you
had
don't get
just
the
like,
murals back, right? They don't peel them down and give them to you. They probably just rip them off.
no,
Yeah,
no. I mean, I
that's
have
fine.
the digital file, so realistically,
Of
if I
course, of
wanted to,
course.
if I needed it again, I could do
You're like,
something
that's
with
what my
it.
whole bedroom is filled with. It's just floor to ceiling old murals.
No, but that's funny because I just did, you'll see, I just did a project with the Knicks. Um, and I think there were some scraps and they were like, "Do you want them?" And I was like, it's fine. I don't need the scraps.
Well, are you a
It was
Knicks
gonna be
fan?
fun to do. Oh, big Knicks fan. So
Okay,
you'll
all right.
see. I think that was what I was going to end with. But yes, big Knicks fan. And it was a huge goal of mine to work with the Knicks. And I made it happen. And I did a really cool project with them this year.
That's
Um,
amazing.
I manifested it. It was really fun.
And you're like,
Really cool.
I am directly responsible for fan sentiment for the year of 2024 to
And it's
2025.
cool. So I did a project at Madison Square Garden, and a couple people this week went to concerts there, and they texted me that the whatever I did with the Knicks is still up. So they were sending me pictures. So I was like, oh, that's
It's because
cool.
everyone went to Gaga. I was the only person that
Yeah.
didn't go to Gaga.
It was one of my friends went to Gaga. Then there was Haim also, I think.
Oh, yeah, yeah, the Heim.
I want to do elements.
That's fun.
So yeah.
That's really cool because also it's like one thing that's really big about MSG
Mm,
and it is just that it's such a New York City is a cultural epicenter, but then MSGs are shared moments, and so it's really cool to be able to contribute to the ambiance and the aesthetic of a cultural moment every time that someone's walking through there, whether they are there for a concert or they're there for a game and they walk by your mural. It is what they then kind of associate with that memory they have of that night, which is cool.
hmm Totally. It was such a dream of mine to be at MSG. I have it. I wrote it down on my goals list.
Hmm.
I think it was January of last year, 2 years ago. So it's cool to be
Man, you
able to
work
see that
fast.
goal
You're
and
like
then have that happen.
immediately obtain those goals. That's crazy. Do you have
Yeah.
any place in mind right now that's the next um checkpoint milestone?
Um, I don't know. I
That's
mean,
okay.
yes,
That's okay.
I have to revisit my goals, but something cool. I made like a vision board at the beginning of this year and I shared it online. And one of the things was to design skis and snowboards to work with a ski snowboard company. And I just did that. So it's a company called Gilson. I can show you guys after. And
That's so exciting.
yeah, they just uploaded the snowboards, but the skis are coming at the end of the week and
Are you
it's
a
so cool. I'm
snowboarder
so
or are you a
excited.
skier?
Skier.
You're a skier. Yeah.
Yep.
My I'm with a family full of skiers and I'm the only snowboarder and I need to learn how to ski.
So that was like my fiance too. We're all skiers. He's a snowboarder, but
Yeah.
we went to a mountain that only allows skiers. So he didn't have a choice.
It's like buckle
He
up.
had to. Exactly. We were like, all right, get
Like
in.
we're starting on a black diamond. Good luck.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
mean, you could also get him your skis that you just designed and be like, "Honey, I got you. I got you a
Oh,
gift."
yeah. No, I know. He's excited because I think the company said they were going to give me a pair of skis and snowboards.
That's really
So
cool.
I'm
E-
gonna
Even if you
share
just
it.
put them on the wall, that's cool. I mean, it's definitely even cooler to be able to wear them on the ski lift. But
I'm trying
even
to look up some of my
having them,
other ideas from my
there's
past
that was okay. So
recaps.
wait, real quick, can we just take a
Oh
look at the
yeah.
MSG?
Yeah, we can.
That's
Yes.
so cool. And you didn't
So
even
well,
do it on.
this
You also put
it
it on
was
a
this
car?
actually. Yeah. So that was the
That's
big thing.
so
I worked with
cool.
Lexus, so you guys can have a teaser before we even get there.
I would
Yes.
so the what do the files even look like that? Is like was it like a weird shape for the door and then you just
Yeah.
like had to
It
work
was the
within
shape
those?
for both sides of the door, the roof, the front and back. And
Wow,
I was
okay.
so picky about it because I wanted everything to line up
Right.
perfectly rather than just slapping the design in. I
Yep.
wanted to make sure all the icons got in and things weren't cut off, and it happens, but
That's stressful.
I spent a lot of time trying to make sure everything was aligned right. So, yeah.
Wow. And thankfully you did not have to install that one. That one would be exhausting to
No, and
install.
it took them a while. I watched the guys do it and they have the heat gun and they have to stretch the whole,
Yep.
wrap onto the car perfectly. So,
And then they
yeah.
gave you the car at the end, right?
No, that's what my dad was saying last night. He was like, they should auction off the car and give you some. No, everyone was asking me what they were going to do the car after, and I had no idea, but it's apparently still there. So,
Oh, that's very cool.
yeah. So I can explain what I'm showing now because I know we talked a bit about art licensing, and this was a project where my artwork ended up in Home Goods,
Whoa,
and
okay.
I have a collaboration with two different wall art companies. So again, I just give my designs to the companies and then they pitch the retailers, they distribute it. So I have nothing to do with getting into those stores. Well, I guess I do because it's my
Your hard
art,
work,
but
yeah.
as far as relationship wise, I
Yeah,
don't. So art licensing is awesome.
that's
And I
very
have like
cool.
a couple more other things I can show you after this, but this was a fun one. And when I posted about it, people were like freaking out because I don't know, the idea that my art was in Home Goods, the idea that it was probably at an affordable price.
Hmm.
My followers were freaking out. They were hunting all like I was getting messages like, I just went to the Florida location. I just went to the New York location. People were hunting to find them. It was
Oh,
wild.
that's wonderful. It's also, yeah, because it helps you with, to your point, we were talking a little bit about logistics of making your own stuff. Like that is all taken care of if it's the distribution is taken by the licensing of your work towards like home goods, which is really nice. Now,
Yeah.
did you take these pictures or are these pictures sent to you by
Now,
other people?
I actually don't think I saw any of them in person. These
No
were all
way.
photos that other people shared with me.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a
That's
crazy
really cool.
scavenger hunt.
Do you have a favorite of the ones that got picked up by home goods?
Um,
I know it's like
I
picking a favorite
think
child.
I think probably the happy faces and then the peace sign
Hmm.
would be my second favorite, but the happy
Yeah,
faces that I do are like very signature to
right.
me, and I think that my followers also really were excited about it. So to see other people so excited, I don't know, it was cool.
That's really special. That's cool. And it's also like for a fact that somewhere in 20 years someone's still going to have one of these on their wall. Like things with home goods stay in people's houses for so long. Um,
Totally.
that
Yeah,
it's
I
cool
still
to
have
have that
people
lasting
messaging me
impact.
telling me like I actually went to go paint a mural at someone's house this year. Um, and someone had one of my art pieces that she had bought in 2020. So it was so cool to see that on her wall and then to go back 5 years later and paint a mural for her kids and know that
Oh,
she
that's
was
really
one of my
special.
first customers. So that was really
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, that's so cool. Do you
Yeah.
prefer, I mean, I'm sure they both have their perks, but do you prefer personal, like in-home murals, or do you prefer ones that are a little bit more like heavier foot traffic? Because I could see how one could be one more intimate and more personal, and then one obviously
Yeah.
gets more eyeballs.
So I think it's total like both. It's really not the best answer, but both because I do love going into someone's house and I like spray painting. It's kind of my favorite thing to do. I just like for 3 hours can spray paint, not be on my phone, not think about anyone else, kind of in my own zone.
Yep.
And then as a result, like then someone walks in and you see their face light up and they're so happy and like I
It
changed a
transforms the
nine-year-old's
space.
life by their room. So
Right.
I love that, but at the same time, no one else is going to see that besides their family. So the
Hmm.
exposure then to work with a JFK or a Brookfield Place and to have my art be seen by a larger audience, that's also rewarding in itself.
Absolutely. Well, we've got about 15 minutes left. If you guys are just
Cool.
joining us now, we're with Corey Paige. She is kicking off the celebration for her upcoming 10-year business anniversary, and we're looking at a recap carousel that posts the highlights of her incredible journey over the last few years. So far,
Mm-hmm.
we've worked on about 6 slides. Did you have a
Mm-hmm.
goal in mind for how many slides you wanted to do for this carousel?
Let's see. So I have one, two, three, four. I have four more projects I can touch on and then a cover photo. So kind of depends. I can do a few more and then stop. Whatever
I'm excited
works.
to hear about
How's,
these. It looks like
yeah.
you then got into apparel. I see. What is that? A Dunkin'
Yeah.
Donuts?
Yeah. What should we
Um,
start with?
Everything is so cool. Um, I mean,
What do you think?
chronologically, next would probably be Dunkin' Donuts, right? Is that what happened next in your journey?
No. Dunkin'
Oh,
Donuts was this year.
oh,
And
okay.
also, what's good about Express is I can always, move things around.
Rearrange.
So if I feel like I'm excited about Dunkin', let's say, let's do it. Let's say I'm excited about Dunkin', we want to talk about it now. I can always do it and move it around later.
Was this
So
their headquarters? Where's this?
yeah. So what happened with this project was we reached out to Duncan on Instagram and basically got lucky that whoever was running their social media at the time answered and liked my work. And I kind of hounded them until I got on a phone call with them.
Yeah,
The initial plan was to do a mural for their CEO's office, but that didn't end up happening. And I told them I already made them some fan art and I already had all these files made. So I just knew I wanted to get myself in person to meet with the Duncan team and go to their headquarters. That was a goal of mine.
because
Made
that's
it happen.
Boston, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Boston.
I thought you were calling me a boss. I got excited.
Oh yeah, because it's it's a boss move. I mean, it is.
Yeah, come
You
on.
manifested it and you got it. Are you a Dunkin' coffee girly, or are you more like? Do you have a specific donut order
You
you always
know,
go for?
I grew up eating French crullers. That was like my favorite
No
thing.
way. Okay, that was not where I was expecting this to go, but I'm here for it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was like my favorite thing growing up.
Oh wait, can we talk
It's
about what you just did? What just happened
yes.
there?
Yes. So let's see. Can we go back? I will show everyone what I did.
Because that
And I'm
that was
surprised
so
I haven't,
seamless. That was real
I'm
quick.
surprised that I haven't done this yet on my other slides. I think I've just been excited talking. So right here, you'll see this is such an important feature of Adobe Express that I've been using, their remove background. So for this, I didn't want to show the boring office. I just kind of wanted to show myself
Yeah,
floating with the art that I made. So that's a feature that I've used. And if we go to this, let me see. Because here, just to show you my May recap, that's how I did the cover photo. After I
nice.
finished all the slides, I picked some of my favorite imagery and I just used the recap feature, or sorry, the remove background feature. And I did it here too. Picture of myself floating here. Um, and I did at the end here too. You'll see here, this is just me and I, put myself behind to do like a little shadow. Also
And it kind of
this.
just
So
brings it all together, so it feels like one composition.
yeah,
That's really
totally.
cool.
Yeah.
Um,
So
but yeah, so back to your Dunkin' order though.
oh yeah. I don't really drink coffee regularly. I don't like how it makes me feel. It's like too much. I don't like caffeine. I
You
don't
don't
like
like
feeling
jitter and
the jitter.
anxiety? Like that's what I'm all about.
No. No, I actually prefer not. So I tend to not drink coffee so much.
Do you
So,
have a sweet tooth though? Do you like the sweets at
oh
Dunkin'?
my gosh, yes.
Okay.
I am such a sweet tooth person. I get very excited about desserts. So, for sure. Like,
Oh no, where are you
yeah.
going?
I
We're
think I'm
getting
gonna
rid
get
of
rid of
you.
myself
All
because I'm
right. And that's
already
just using the
here.
erase tool, which is nice because you don't even
Exactly.
have to do the whole thing. You just kind of were like, this is the
Hmm.
object I want to remove, and it got rid of it for you.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna show off the artwork here.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
like
really
the
sure, but I'm just
stencil
playing
Dunkin'
around.
cup. That's fun.
Yeah, so what I did was I wanted to also make them a hand-painted art piece. So I got a bunch of Duncan stencils and I did a mix of my own hand-drawn elements and then threw in some of their stencils too. So that was
I
fun.
love that. Peter's wondering
Yeah.
if you have art galleries on your radar at all. Are you planning on ever doing a solo exhibition?
That's a good question. I am in one art gallery that's
No
based
way.
in California, in LA, on Abbot Kinney called Art Unified. And it's actually been great working with them because they go to all the art fairs. So I've been in Art Basel, I've been in the
No
Affordable
way.
Art Fair, I've been in like the Hamptons Art Fair, a ton of art fairs. And similarly, I just give them my art they will give me, so how galleries typically work is they give you 50% of the sales. So yesterday, this two like 2 days ago, they were at art, what is it called? Like Art on Paper in New York at Pier 36, and I get a text from the guy, just sold one of your happy faces. So that's pretty cool.
That's so that's so nice. Obviously,
Yeah,
it's not passive in the way of like there was not hard work because obviously there's all the work that goes into creating the pieces. But then
right,
when it's like out of sight, out of mind, and all of a sudden you're just like, "Hey, free money!" You're like, "Okay,
right.
cool."
Yeah, so that was cool to get that text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then uh, so that I just feel like there keeps being things that you keep surprising me with, just being like, just like airport, but you're just like, oh
And
yeah,
then
no,
I'm not
also like
explaining
something I'm
it.
doing.
Yeah, that's
No,
my
not even
problem.
explaining it. Just like it's you've accomplished so much. Like this is so much to be proud of, and like we'll have to have you back on in another 10 years, and you'll be doing
Hopefully
the
sooner.
Olympics or something. No,
Oh
hopefully,
yeah,
so,
that would be
definitely
sick.
sooner. That's not. We don't have to wait 10 years to bring you back on, but for our next recap, our
I
next
know what you
decade
mean.
recap.
Yeah.
Um, Peter is excited to hear that you are looking into, or at least would be interested in like a solo exhibition, because he says it would be interesting to see 10 years of work in the gallery.
Yeah.
In the
I
same way
did
that it's
that
interesting to see it all
actually
next side
two
by
year,
side.
was it last year? Yeah, last year I did a solo show. It was at a store in Soho. It was kind of just a clothing vintage store that we took over the back and I did an art show. It was a lot of work. Um, I love the idea of it, but I've learned that it's it's important to have help with these things because it's a lot to
Yeah,
do everything on your own. And when I
certainly.
work for myself, yes, I can come up with all the art pieces and make all them. But then to promote a show and to find space, and if you want to do giveaways, if you want to get a bar, a DJ, like so much more goes into planning an art show.
Right.
So it's nice, similar to like art licensing, to partner with someone to be able to do it. So, um, yeah, I love the idea of it. I love making art. So, yeah,
Oh, and Lily
what
just
should I
put a
do
great question in
next?
the YouTube chat. Says, based on your experience, how can designers and other type of artists, like filmmakers, effectively build a personal style that stands out while also meeting client expectations and industry trends?
Wow, that's a question.
Yeah.
Um,
So let's start it out. Let's break it down. How do you feel like you can build a personal style? Is it something that you consciously do, or do you just draw what you like?
I think you just got to be true to yourself, honestly. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's the biggest thing. And I think a great compliment that I get is like, Corey beats to her own drum. She's very true to herself. And I think that's kind of what you have to do with your artwork. Find a niche that you like and stick with it. I also do think sharing your work, posting it on social media, sharing it with friends and family, getting feedback, learning from others online. It's been really nice to be able to use social media to connect with other artists and learn things too. So, I don't
Yeah,
think I would be as successful if I didn't have social media and, using the community and leaning on people for support.
certainly. And then also with the second part about meeting client expectations and industry trends, Lily, I'm not sure if you were here a few moments ago when we were talking about Duncan, though, but I do know that you mentioned that you had already kind of pre-created some work of like fan art, or not fan art. What do you call it? I think you called it GIFs, of Duncan work that you then were able to kind of present, right?
Yeah, exactly. So for Duncan, I kind of already had made some fan art and I knew that I just think meeting people face to face is so important. Whenever you get a message, like I'm always like quick to let's hop on a call, let's hop on a Zoom.
Right.
But
Personal
yes,
connection.
personal connection is really important, networking and getting yourself comfortable in front of the camera, talking to people, pitching yourself, being prepared for a call and having a deck maybe ready. You don't want to spend too much time, if you're not getting paid for something, but at the same time, you want to show that you put effort in. So when
Yeah,
I
like an
went to
investment.
Dunkin' headquarters, I had a bunch of gifts for them already and fan art. And then I didn't end up posting this on my slide, but I'll show you guys. It ended up leading to this was a Valentine's Day collaboration that I did with Duncan. So I made a bunch of
Yes.
designs and ended up doing a quick drop with them, which I know I should probably put in my slide, but
And you also
I'll
have a
find
sticker
somewhere to put it.
set. Love me some stickers.
I did a sticker set. Yeah. We did sweatshirts, hats, all that.
That's
So
so
it
cool.
led to something, going to the headquarters led to a collaboration that I ended up, getting paid for. And it was really awesome.
All right. Great question. Great answer. We have about
Yes.
5 minutes left. I know time has kind of flown
Okay.
by.
Of
Um,
course, I knew it would.
how should we wrap this up? Either with a review, or do you
Yeah.
want to do like cover
Yeah,
slide?
let's do a cover slide.
Let's do
So,
cover slide. That'll
I
be a
mean,
nice
the
recap.
last few things, oops, don't want to click upload. I keep getting confused. Just to go over the last few things that I didn't touch upon, but you'll see whenever this carousel post comes out, you guys can come back and see. You'll see here on the side, I was ready to post some art licensing that I did with a clothing company, and then I also had worked with a chocolate company based out of New York. So whenever I finish this and post it in October, you guys will have to come back and see it. But for now, we will work on a cover image. So I think what I'm going to do is go through and pick some of my favorite images from some of these projects. And I don't know, let's see how it goes. I'll probably remove the background and collage everything together and see how it goes. I don't like that.
Immediately. No thanks. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't know.
Um, but no, it's
Or
exciting to
the,
also see this in advance, because you said this isn't going up for like another month. So guys, this is behind the
yeah,
scenes classic work here. Um, because yeah, I guess you had started the company in October, right?
October 2015. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really started up summer, like 10 years ago over the summer when I made my Instagram. Initially, it was called Corey Paige Art.
Hmm.
And then
And where can we find you
somehow
now,
eventually,
actually? Because you mentioned this would be on your Instagram.
yeah, my Instagram is Corey Paige _ designs.
Okay. And that is Corey with the C and Page with an
Yeah,
I.
sorry. I probably should have PAIGECOREY. Yeah. Like people always mess that up, but
Yeah,
yeah,
you have a
it's a good
very
thing to mention.
adaptable name, because you could be Corey with a K, or
CORI
something.
people can do, but COREY is the way to go. Figured, why
Thank
not
you,
throw
Jacob,
this
for
one in?
putting the link to the Instagram in both of the chats. So if you guys are watching,
Thank you, Jacob.
make sure you go and click that. We'll also make sure it's linked in the description if you're watching the replay. And if you're watching in the future, thanks for being here in the future.
Yeah, thanks for
Oh, I
being
didn't
here in the
realize you
future.
got to uh, do photo shoots with
Yeah,
your own stuff. That's really cool.
yeah. They invited me to come do some of their photo shoots. So it's
That's
funny, I
amazing.
just like hop in with the kids.
Yeah. Where was that? Where was the photo shoot
It somewhere in the city,
in the city?
at a, like a place where they typically do these photo shoots.
Hmm. That's pretty neat.
And they let me get involved, but it's funny because it's like me with all these little kids, but it's cute.
Like older sister,
Yeah,
mom, random assistant, who knows?
I know. But I love kids, so I'm like hanging out with the kids. I'm playing hula hoop with them, playing hot potato when it's so funny.
That's awesome. And then you're
It's
like,
really
hey, guess
funny.
what? Those pants, I made them.
That's exactly how I say it. I'm like
That's cool.
weird like that. I'm like, hey guys, I made those pants.
That's really
I
fun.
actually say it like that.
And I'm guessing you got to keep some of the pants, right?
Yeah, they actually just emailed me. They want to send me some samples for our next collection.
Ooh.
We have a new collection coming up, and then I have to keep making for next year and the year after that. But it's really cool. So they send me all these free samples, and a lot of times I actually end up either keeping them for myself or I like to give them away to people.
Yeah.
Or I actually donated a bunch to a children's hospital once when I didn't need all the extras. So
Oh, that's wonderful.
yeah, it
That's
was
really
nice.
cool. Yeah, I mean that would also be a really nice place to have a inspiring mural, would be like a hospital or
Oh, I
something.
do. I
Yeah.
do. At Cohen Children's Hospital on Long Island, I have like a 50-foot mural that I donated to them for their
Oh,
kids'
that's
wing.
wonderful.
So
That's really
you can
cool.
find that on my Instagram or website. I'm currently redoing my website, so it'll be
Aren't
done
we
probably by the end
all?
of the week. I'm excited about it. I know. It's
It's a
something I
John
had been
Smith
talking
thing.
about for years, and then finally I pushed myself to do it. But
That's just
usually with this stuff, I kind of keep playing around with it. This is actually good for me because I can spend a lot of time on one slide or a lot of time on one project. And it's kind of like you got to keep moving.
yep.
So to work with you for 55 minutes or so, get this started, and then go back and add, sometimes you work on a project and you go back to it 10, 20 hours later and you're like, wait, I don't like how I did this, or I want to add this. So
You have fresh
it's a good
eyes.
start.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, anytime you want to come back on, happy to give you motivation to sprint through stuff.
Thank you.
Great.
I
But yeah,
need
so
it.
we're just at about time.
Cool.
So we were so happy to have you here and have everybody in chat with your questions and comments. It was great learning about your whole process. It was great learning about your journey. So excited to see the finished carousel next month. Also excited to see what comes next. Like you said, cool new apparel coming out, which we'll also love to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, so thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you. Thanks for having me. This was so much fun. And I hope everyone watching and everyone watching in the future learned something today. So, yeah, this was great. Thank you.
Yeah. And if you guys are watching live, make sure you stay tuned. Coming up next, it's still me. We're doing File New right after this. So we'll be switching over in the next few minutes. But stay tuned here on YouTube or Behance, and we will see you in just a little bit. Thanks again, Corey.
All right. Thanks. Bye.